Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. Hundreds of thousands of women took to the streets across the country Saturday to mark the first anniversary of last year's historic Women's March protesting President Trump's inauguration. In New York City, authorities estimated over 200,000 people marched. Protests were also held in Washington, Chicago, Los Angeles, and hundreds of other cities and towns. Here in Park City, Utah, protesters braved freezing temperatures and a snowstorm Saturday to take part in the Respect Rally. Speakers included the longtime women's rights attorney, Gloria Allred.
Snow, freezing rain to stand up. And why have we come here today? We have come here for respect, for women, for equal rights, for all of our daughters, for our mothers, our sisters, and our aunts. This entire year has been the winter of our discontent. But it has also been the year of our awakening, and awake we are to the lack of respect and the denial of our rights for women. Do you agree? This marks the end of fear being used as a weapon to silence women and to deny our rights. Do you agree? This is the year that women's voices have been heard, the year when women broke our silence about the injustices we have suffered, and the year when we said to rich, powerful, famous men, you can break our hearts, but you cannot break our spirits. We will not be silenced. We have reached the breaking point. We have reached the tipping point. We demand respect for our daughters, our granddaughters, our mothers, our sisters, our lesbian sisters, gay men, transgenders, and all minorities. We demand our rights. We demand the right to be free of sexual assault, rape, and abuse. Say after me, resist, insist, persist, elect. Now, resist, persist, insist, elect. We demand the right to control our bodies and our lives. Resist, insist, persist, elect. We demand the right to choose legal, safe, and affordable abortions and not have our lives placed at risk by illegal, unsafe abortions, which cause many of us to be mutilated and die like I almost died when Roe v. Wade was not yet the law and abortions were illegal. Resist, insist, persist, elect. We demand the right to have contraceptives when men are getting Viagra. Resist, insist, persist, elect. We demand the end of sexual harassment and all violence against women and girls. Resist, persist, insist, elect. We demand the enforcement of child support laws so mothers can support their children and not be forced onto welfare and lives of poverty. Resist, insist, persist, elect. We demand the end to pregnancy discrimination in the workplace. Resist, insist, persist, elect. And we demand the passage of the Equal Rights Amendment, that equality of rights shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of sex. Resist, persist, elect. And don't forget, insist. Insist. And let me tell you, Utah, we have 36 states who have ratified the Equal Rights Amendment, most recently Nevada. And now it is time for Utah. Resist, insist, persist, elect, and give a hearing to the ERA in Utah. Yes, let's hear it.
It is my huge honor here to be introducing the unintroducible, the formidable Jane Fonda.
Thank you for being here in the cold and in the snow. Yay, Sundancers! We're still marching, we're still protesting, but now we have to also organize. Last September, 50 women took a bus from Los Angeles to San Diego to join hundreds of grassroots organizers who've been canvassing there to flip the 49th congressional district. They went door to door and talked to people, some of whom were ardent, avid Trump fans. The women didn't talk about a candidate. They never mentioned a Democratic or Republican Party. They focused on issues, the issues that people at the door cared about. And by listening and giving people information that they had not heard before, because, you know, Fox News, they were able to change minds. And just a few days ago, the Republican from that district, Trump's good pal, Dara Issa, retired. Yes. He was scared away by our organizing. Listen to this. The Tea Party with the Koch brothers learned what works. They learned from the successes of the labor movement, the civil rights movement, the women's and the LGBTQ movements. And they've been organizing under the radar for years. And that's how they've taken over state legislators and county supervisors and governorships. And this is really important because governors determine redistricting. So if we want to protect our voting rights, we have to take back governorships. Our democracy's survival and the Earth's survival depends on our ability to get people the facts, help them understand who is really on their side, and they're not alone, and then get them registered and motivated to vote.
Jane Fonda speaking at the Respect Rally in Park City, Utah Saturday to mark the first anniversary of the historic 2017 Women's March. Before that, the women's rights attorney Gloria Allred. During the rally, I also interviewed the actress Tessa Thompson, who you may know from her roles as the superhero in the film Thor, or playing Samantha, Sam White, in Dear White People, or performing as Diane Nash in Selma. I spoke to her just after she addressed the Respect Rally. Hi, I'm Amy Goodman from Democracy Now!
I know who you are.
Oh, my God. Well, I know who you are.
Are you kidding?
So,
I know who you are.
Your thoughts today on this first anniversary of the inauguration of President Trump, but also the first anniversary of the massive women marches around the country?
I mean, it's incredible to be here. I think that, a lot of movement has happened since then, and in many ways, not enough. I think until we can really create systemic change in legislation and policy, we'll continue to march, and that was something that was echoed by Jane Fonda and Gloria Allred. Like, I think that's where we are. And so I was really spirited to hear, particularly the words of Jane, helping us understand the ways in which it's important to organize. Because I feel like we're in such a cultural moment sometimes, that particularly in this media space that we live in, where you can feel like retweeting or hashtagging is enough. And I think we really need to get to a place of understanding in a real way with our friends and our family what we can do, how we can really create change.
Tessa Thompson, you played Diane Nash in Selma.
Yeah.
Talk about this civil rights leader and what this kind of activism from a half a century ago, if we're seeing it expressed today.
We're seeing it expressed. The thing that was so incredible about Diane, and every leader that I spoke to that's still alive that could tell me about Diane, of course I got to meet her as well, is just how radical she was. That she really felt like an important component of creating real change is tension, that she wasn't afraid of it, to create it even with the people that she collaborated with. And that kind of bravery and real dedication to getting to the core of an idea, I think is so fantastic, particularly in a political space. And so I was continuously struck by that. And she is that way still. I mean, she has such fierce fierce integrity, and really believes in America so much that she can be quite critical, and that's, I think, what we need.
And now you are a Black woman superstar in Thor. Talk about your message to young women in the world.
I think what's really been incredible about that, obviously the character Valkyrie has not historically been a woman of color, although she is in the context of the comics, she is depicted as sometimes a bisexual, so she's a queer woman. But it's been incredible to see young women come up to me and say that it means so much to them because they can see themselves reflected in a film like that. And I think for me, when I first got the part, I couldn't believe it, and I think a part of that is because I had not seen it before, and so I think that's where representation in media is really important. It's important when people are ingesting their popcorn, they're also ingesting images that make them feel hopeful about their sense of possibility.
That's actress Tessa Thompson at the Respect rally on Saturday here in Park City. When we come back from break, we look at RBG, a new documentary about the life of Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who's here in Park City as well. Stay with us.